want to think. But we are here for the victims regardless, and we'll keep coming back for the victims until they've got justice. Actually, there's some here. There's actually the parent, father and the mother of a young woman, the young girl who was groomed and molested by a paedophile gang. And when he went to the police, they arrested him for race. Britain First will be coming back. We've been running a non-stop campaign, multiple days of action. We've invaded the council offices twice. And we're not going to stop until we see justice, because the politically correct elite in this town and further afield are just waiting for it all to blow over. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Because Britain First is a movement that respects the sacrifice made by millions of people to make this country great and to hand it down to future generations of our people. And we want to keep that heritage, we want to preserve our country and hand it down to our children and grandchildren. That's why Britain First. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a genuine war hero. And do you know what? He's lost both his legs, but he's here today. He's marched beside us. We are the best this country has to offer. Our people, Britain First people, are willing to sacrifice their lives to defend this country. The fact that we've got injured war heroes marching beside us, I think we should do a 1 minute silence for all of those. There's 500 plus that have given their lives, who are not with us anymore. And also a minute silence for the estimated 10,000 homeless ex-forces around the country. 10,000. And yet Cameron's just announced we're bringing over 1,000 more of these Syrian refugees, while our own war heroes are on the streets.
For inviting me. I'm very honoured to be here. I'm very emotional about all the flags and that. I never thought it'd be like that with the Union Jack. But you fellas are doing your country.
So I'd like to start, as I always do, I'd like to start by saying thank you to everyone here. And do you know what? Actually standing here, I actually feel quite choked up, because we've been here a few times now and it's such a wonderful sight. I can see so many familiar faces. I know a lot of you are locals, and this almost feels like home, genuinely. I mean, you can probably hear that I'm from London. I don't think I can disguise that. But we've spent so much time here, and this is such a sad and contentious issue that I really feel like we're living it with you, and I'm really, really pleased with other events. It must be really difficult actually for the people of Rotherham, because so many victims, so many, I mean 1,400 that we know of came forward. That's just that came forward. How many didn't? How many took their lives? How many turned to drugs? You know, how many have never come forward with their story? But 1,400 alone will affect everyone. Everyone in this town, everyone. I mean, the average secondary school, now let's cast our minds back, because I know some of us will have to think back a bit further than others. I think these gentlemen here won't have to go back as far as I do, but can we all remember our first day at secondary school? Not that long ago, not that long ago. Do you remember looking around and thinking, my God, there are hundreds of children here, and I'm just one small child in a huge school? The victims that have come forward could fill 2 entire secondary schools. That means you stand in your secondary school, every single one of those children would have been tampered with, raped, tortured, doused in petrol by Muslim grooming gangs. That's the extent of this scandal. And these police that have turned out in force today should have turned out in force 16 years ago. This argument, you may have seen. We went to visit the taxi drivers in Rotherham. Yeah. I tell you why we went. Because I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that the media are portraying this as a select few Muslims who aren't devout. Real Muslims, they say, wouldn't condone this. So So I thought, okay, well, here we go. Let's see the hordes of Muslims take to the streets and protest. No one did. No one did. Do you know when they protested? When the council said you have to put a CCTV in your car so that the kids don't get raped in the back of your taxi. All we want is a CCTV camera in that car watching the kids. What did they do? They came out and said no. Even the authorities are protecting these people. The authorities in this country are corrupt and treacherous. They have given away our country. They've given away our houses. They've given away our benefits. They're giving preferential treatment to people who don't respect our land over veterans on the street. And over my dead body are they going to give away our kids?
I'm just going to go through some news printouts now which explain why the police have tried to sabotage this protest. It's quite simple. They've banished us from the town centre because they don't want to disrupt the shoppers, but they've allowed the unwashed, traitorous, pro-Muslim UAF bastards into the town centre instead. They even went so far to say we couldn't use that raised platform over there. So we had to, within a few hours, we had to build this makeshift stage because we knew that they were just throwing unnecessary restrictions on us because they want to sabotage our protest. And here's the reason why. Hold on. This is why. This is from the Guardian newspaper. The Police Complaints Commission is working to identify 100 police officers that turned a blind eye to the rape, the grooming and the trafficking of young girls. The next one, this one from the Daily Express. Rotherham sex scandal, more than 160 police officers facing claims they ignored victims' pleas. 160 plus.
Yes.
And to be honest, those 160 could be any of these police officers we have around us now. There you go for the Daily Mail. More than 100 Rotherham police officers investigated. No, we haven't got to the best bit yet. There's a video from the Star local paper. Rotherham police chief explains why no staff disciplined for abuse scandal.
Who?
No police have been disciplined over the abuse scandal.
Wow. Why?
And that's for the police chief. Hold on, but that's not the cherry on the cake. The cherry on the cake is this. Police chiefs took 120 grand bonuses while Rotherham grooming scandal unfolded. Now we know why they're so desperate to stop us coming into Rotherham.
For money.
Hundreds of them, these police officers right here. Now, the thing is, even if you don't commit paedophilia, if you facilitate it, you're just a paedophile yourself. It's happening. I said it to all of the reporters earlier when you was all huddled round, and I said 1,400 children we know about have been raped and groomed and tortured, and yet there's only been a tiny handful of investigations, a tiny handful of resignations, a tiny handful of arrests. Well, that's not good enough. No. They come in and they close the council down. They kicked out all the local Labour councillors who are up to their neck in it. They put that council into administration. What they need to do now is put South Yorkshire Police into administration. Why are these people so scared of Britain First coming here and providing a platform for the British people of Rotherham to come out to the streets and vent their anger in a sensible way? It's because they want to just let the whole thing blow over and be forgotten about. That's why they're not doing anything. They're playing for time.
Never be forgotten. Yeah.
The last Britain First protest was a year ago, and here we are again. We're here. This is the third protest we've held in the town. We've invaded the council offices multiple times. We've held days of action in this town, and we won't stop if this takes us 20 years to make our children safe in this town. The one thread throughout all of this that's unfolded in this town is that the police and the council and the social services turned a blind eye, and there was a failure to act. And the reason they refused to act is because they didn't want to be called the gravest word ever, racist.
Yes.
They allowed paedophilia on a massive industrial scale to continue because they didn't want to be called racist. What a bunch of spineless, gormless arseholes! This has nothing to do with racism, okay? We've got ethnic minorities here today, I can see them. This is about protecting young children. And the reason that they turned a blind eye is because the perpetrators were Muslim Pakistani residents of Rotherham. Almost to a man. Now, I get replies all the time from these journalists and online messages on Facebook. Well, what about white paedophiles? We'll hang them as well. But we're here today because we care, because we love our country. We love those 1,400 victims. God bless them. Imagine what they've been through collectively. Who's there for them? No one but us, you, here today. You're the ones who come out. You're the ones who should be proud. And that's the difference between us and the Conservatives and Labour and the Lib Dems and all the rest. We consider every proud British citizen in this country to be our own flesh and blood, our own family. We stick together, we look after each other. That's the basis of our pride in our country.